put my timer on to film a video. Hey there, this is Foggy Fiction, and I am Haley. I'm a writer living with mental illness, doing my best to show that mental health does not dictate talent or worth, and hoping to encourage others to chase their dreams. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite comics and graphic novels. I figured since I did a comic book box unboxing video this week, I might as well follow it up by doing a video telling you my favorites. So, let's get to it. Number 1 is The Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore. I tore through the first compendium before I ever tried watching the TV show, and I wish I would have started with the show. Because I love the book so much that the show was basically a disappointment for me. I feel like if I had started with the show first, I probably would have liked it. But I didn't, so here we are. I'm not saying that the show is bad, it just didn't live up to my admittedly very high expectations. That's my personal experience. If you read the books first and still love the show, I'm jealous. I have read the first 2 compendiums, one of which I have here, and I am this far into the 3rd compendium. I reached a decent stopping point in this one, and I just haven't picked it back up yet. My boyfriend has watched the show, or most of it, and so I know what's coming, and I'm not ready for it yet. Absolutely love these. Number 2, Fables by Bill Willingham. If you've played Telltale's The Wolf Among Us, you might already know what I'm talking about. If you've played it and don't know what I'm talking about, prepare to be excited. It was based on the Fables comics, and they were freaking amazing. They're basically a twist on fairy tales, where the fairy tale characters we know are real, and they've escaped a war in their world to come hide in ours. That's a very simple description that doesn't do it justice. I read them on my Kindle. I think I'm in the 7th or 8th volume right now, but they are really good. And if you've had bad experiences with reading comics on Kindle or Comixology, I didn't have any problems with these on here. Number 3, Lady Mechanica by Joe Benitez. I hope I said that right. This is one that I found by browsing the free comics on Kindle. They had an issue number 0, kind of, to introduce you to the story, that I read and I loved. I ended up buying and loving all of the volumes that were available on Kindle, and then I bought paperbacks of the 3 that weren't available on Kindle. It is a steampunk story about a private detective with a tragic backstory who is part woman, part machine. Again, my descriptions do not do these books justice, but I love her. And the art, I mean, just look at that. My ring light's covering part of it up, but seriously, I love these. I love her story. I love this art. Lady Mechanica. Love it so much. Number 4, and I'm gonna butcher this name, I'm sorry. Stephen King's The Stand by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa and Mike Perkins. I'm so sorry that I butchered that name. I am guaranteeing I pronounced it wrong. I'm so sorry. Long story short, the graphic novel version of my favorite book in the whole wide world. It is amazing, and I love it. Nothing else needs to be said. It's awesome, and I'm itching to read it again. Looky there. It's already ready on my Kindle. And number 5, which is going to be absolutely no surprise to anyone who knows what a massive fangirl I am, Charmed by Paul Ruditis and Pat Shand, depending on the volume or season. I actually only discovered these a few years ago, and unfortunately, they aren't really available anymore. I have all of Season 9 and Volume 1 of Season 10 on my Kindle. And by the way, they call them seasons if you don't know much about Charmed, because they literally follow the last season of Charmed, like the TV show, which was Season 8. So these are a continuation of that in comic book form. And I am very lucky to have found Volumes 2 and 3 of Season 10 in paperback. These were expensive. I was lucky to get these for a price that didn't make my jaw hit the ground, at least. I really want the whole collection in paperback. Like, that is on my wish list, but I don't make enough money to do that right now. Not for someone who has guilt with spending and stress with spending. They are awesome though. I do love them, but I have an incredible bias because the original Charmed TV show is my favorite show in the whole wide world. I usually rewatch it once a year. I used to do it more than that. Weird flex, I know. And it has extreme sentimental love for me because someone who I was very close with in my life also would watch it with me, and she is no longer with us. So I have a lot of love for this series and the comic books. Yes. Anyway, that's my list. Terrible descriptions at all. I promise you guys, I'm a much better writer than my terrible descriptions in these videos give me credit for. Let me know what your favorite comic books and graphic novels are in the comments below. I am always looking to read more. These are just my favorites. I've read a lot of comics on my Kindle, especially. I always want to read more. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're interested in following my very clumsy journey as a writer living with mental illness. Enjoy the happy moments. Boy, some of these are heavy.